My name is Maren Minamiya, and I am truly honored to be your moderator of this panel, where we will explore themes that encompasses and affect all our lives all around the world. Now, 2020 was a year of uncertainty and turbulence due to the COVID-19 global pandemic, and we are in 2021 now, and I would like to open this international forum, this panel, by asking, what are you thinking about differently this year than last year? Valentine.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the organizers and everybody for putting together this wonderful event, this wonderful summit, where we can all get together from different countries around the world and share our ideas. So first of all, I want to thank everybody for this. It's an honor. And to answer your question, Maren, 2020 has been a year of massive change, I think, for everybody. No one is excluded from this. And personally, for me, I feel that, the world, it's not as big as we'd like to think it is. Some problems are universal and they involve all of us. And I think this is one of the problems, COVID-19, that we have to solve together. In fact, we are solving together with one of the fastest vaccine developments we've seen in human history, really. And, it's thanks to global cooperation. So I'm optimistic about global cooperation and how this pandemic has brought most of the world together in a sense of unity, and that we need to find solutions to the problems that affect all of us. So that has changed, in my mind, that we are not so big as like we'd like to think sometimes, but together we can achieve anything if we really set our minds to it.
Certainly, Valentine. And we also have Declan. Would you comment on this COVID-19 global pandemic and your thoughts on it?
Really, this year has really changed for me the idea of community, and it's really made me realize how important community is. And I know for me, my dad lost his job during the pandemic, and it's honestly scary. I mean, I'm a 17-year-old high school student, and I have 3 older brothers who are in university, and just looking into the future and having that financial uncertainty is pretty scary. But in this time, the community came together and they really helped my family out, and they showed their support, and they helped my dad find another position. And it's really amazing to see how the community can come together in these times. And I know it's not just me that's been facing these stresses, and I'm sure there's different communities that have been helping people all over the place. And it's really just put in my mind a new version of community, and it's really shown how a community can overcome these adverse conditions. And it's just a testament to show how resilient people are.
Certainly, and it's key that people come together and cooperate in solving these all-encompassing issues that we face together as humanity. Julia, could you share with us your thoughts on and comment upon Declan's on Declan's comment, please? Thank you.
Okay. I take these questions personally. I mean, it's totally different before in the last year. Maybe because the way I see the world and life is so different now. That I think 2020 is a year of resilience. This is not my best year, but the year to become stronger. When the COVID-19 has came and the whole aspects of the human beings has changed gradually, including in education, the shifting from the traditional approach in the classroom into the online platform. In business also taken a big hit with the sharp falls maybe, and many more. The meeting physically with a friend and family before the pandemic turned out into the online. Some people fell into depression and loneliness nowadays, and the others try to survive and see this pandemic as a momentum to change. I think the best way to coping and adaptable with this.
Here's the question from Kanoe Garashi.
Social media has its obvious drawbacks. When it comes to international cooperation, what positive influences can social media have?
Toshiki Nozawa, could you kindly share with us your thoughts
Yes.
on
So
social
obviously there are
media? Thank you.
So obviously there are many drawbacks when people use the social medias. However, in the case of Japan, where the country where I am living in, there is a phrase called seiji banare, which means many young people are losing interest in politics. And Japan has been struggling to increase the voting rate among the young for many years. And this could bring numerous negative effects on the country in the long term. However, right now, it is common for politicians to create Twitter or Instagram accounts, and many young people also have social media's account. Therefore, I understand that there is a risk of fake news, but I think social medias could be used to familiarize about politics among the young people, so they can collect information about politics or perhaps post their opinions about their politics on their social medias, which will make them interested in politics.
Thank you so much, Toshiki. Jiao, could you share with us your comments, please?
All right. Thank you for the recognition. And, first of all, on how social media impacts global cooperation, I would like to draw the example of what is going on in India right now. So 2 days back, Rihanna tweeted about an ongoing farmer protest that has been happening in India for the past 2 months. And suddenly how social media mobilized and came together to support such a community that the government was not responding to their protest as well. And countless human rights violations took place. A tweet from a famous personality as Rihanna actually sent tremors throughout the Indian government, and how this topic was given a global stage, and how the government is going to react very differently now as it would have done before, because she drew a comparison to how the Black Lives Matter movement took place, and how everything is functioning right now wasn't being talked about. And that is how I believe social media is a boon for political movements that are being suppressed, and giving people voices that don't really have a voice. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yao. You just mentioned Black Lives Matter, and I want us to touch on this topic. What issues do you see in your countries with respect to racial equity? Mehak, please go ahead.
I'm just going to take forward from what Dayal mentioned and the question of Black Lives Matter as well. My perspective is that of an Indian living in Australia. I've seen both sides of the situation, so to speak, and I feel that different countries and different cultures have a different outlook when you're coming to topics such as this. In terms of Black Lives Matter, we saw the movement catch trend. It became everything that anyone wanted to talk about at a certain point of time. Social media added to that, and we got around to actually talking about the issue at hand, which was nothing short of brilliant. But when you're looking at the facts on the ground, what needs to be talked about more is how the situation is in actuality. Talking about topics on social media is a great way to get the conversation started in the first place, but I feel the actual results of policy changes, of taking into account how different cultures react to these kind of topics and get around to talking about it or acting on policy to change that kind of discrimination is a more important discussion to be taken place. We can talk about issues we have at hand, but we need to talk about solutions we can achieve when we're looking at different aspects of that issue at hand. The Indian government is going to talk about racial discrimination in a very different way than the Australian government would. So when you're looking at different countries, different cultures, you have to talk about how different approaches would suit that situation better. Thank you.
Now on global cooperation, we have another question from Kanoa Igarashi.
What is your dreams for the future of our generation in respect of global cooperation?
Let me repeat that question. What is your dream for the future of our generation with respect to global cooperation? What are your thoughts about Kanoa's question? Please, Jiao.
Hi, everyone. First, I would like to thank you so much for holding this great event. About the global cooperation, which is very important, we could notice from this huge pandemic, every country, every race, and every humankind could not escape from it. We should face it together. That's why many countries and as well as China propose many global corporate policies like and terminologies like community of shared future for mankind. And we have to, I think the core of the global cooperation is to respect and to embrace different cultures, different background, and different contexts. Yeah, that's my understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Jiao. And Julia, would you like to share your thoughts on global cooperation, please?
Okay, the thing that I want to say is that nowadays collaboration is the key. The global goals cooperation can only be met if we work together. International investment and support is needed to ensure innovative technological development and etc. We know that it is primary multi-stakeholder vehicle to reach the development goals, and I hope the young people from now on, as my generation, we all have the voice, and I hope that the young people are never afraid to start to take action and to do the collaboration, because the future is in our hand.
Allow me to pass that to Valentine.
Thank you, Marian.
Sanchez.
I think, global cooperation is one of the things that, brought us here together, all of us from different countries around the world. And I'm a true optimist when it comes to global cooperation, especially for our generation. The sustainable goals that the United Nations has implemented for nations to follow, for the agenda in the upcoming years, for the global agenda, is pragmatic, and we should follow it. Every nation should, focus on these global issues that range from climate change to equality. And I think that our generation is a generation of interconnectedness. I think social media and everything that connects us, it's easy for us. It's almost natural to our generation. So I am optimistic. I do think that our generation will have or it will be easier, at least in my opinion, to be able to share ideas, to solve problems together. And I believe we are the first big generation to actually live in an truly interconnected world, globalized world. And I hope those things, will pay off in the future when it comes to solving global issues. So I am an optimist, and I do hope that our generation can work together to solve these big issues that are facing us today.
Now, cooperation is going to be key in solving our pressing sustainability issues. And I'd like to ask, what are some pressing sustainability issues in your region of the world? Jiao, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariam, for the recognition. The biggest challenge that a community such as a farming community that I belong to in India faces is there is no actual alternative to non-sustainable material in India. Like, what do I say? So a very big farmer issue in India especially is after the wheat crop or the rice crop is done, the remainder of the crop is not, it is very uneconomical for the farmers to actually get rid of the remainder of the crop, which is still sown in the soil. So in order to get rid of it economically, they burn the entire, the remainder of the crop. And due to which there in the winter months of December and January, there's an entire cloud that forms in the northern part of India that causes smog and countless amount of diseases. And it is the sheer lack of will of the government that I guess that the sustainability is not related to economics in our country, and how sustainability is not economical in nature, especially in poorer sections or third world countries, if you put it, who are still developing. That is why it becomes very difficult for a person who lives on a 300 rupee daily wage to choose sustainability over his daily needs or his daily economics or his household economics. So the biggest issue I feel that a person like me or a person from my community faces is that, first of all, sustainable choices are not accessible as accessible they are in the Western societies. And second of all, it is not economic for a person to make sustainable choices in life.
Once again, thank you for watching, and we are all thankful for this opportunity provided to us by Sister Cities International and our sponsors.